On the third and final day of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Steelers had 2 picks in the 4th round to kick things off. Mike Prisuta is with me once again to break them down. So let's go in order. So 4A for the Pittsburgh Steelers with the 124th pick, running back Anthony McFarland Jr. out of Maryland. Matt Canada, the Steelers' new quarterbacks coach, was his coach at one point. Scotty Montgomery, Triv, a former Steelers coach, is down at Maryland. Also, Coach Tomlin's son, Dino, plays for Maryland. So tell me about this guy and where he fits in with the Steelers running backs room.
I think where he fits in first and foremost is he's a different kind of back than the ones they have, Missi. It's a similar dynamic to what we saw with Chase Claypool, the big wide receiver, the 6'4" guy that you didn't have. Now you have one. Anthony McFarland is a scat back type. 5'8" and 208 pounds, 4.44 in the 40-yard dash, and just by comparison, James Conner, 6'1", 233, 4.65. Benny Snell, 5'10", 224, 4.66. Jalen Samuels, 6 foot, 225, 4.54. In a room of kind of slamming up in there power types, McFarland is trying to make you miss in space guy, a quick feet guy, low center of gravity, quickness, cutting, all that stuff that they really don't have. So is there a role for that? Can they use that as a change of pace, as a counter? Might well work out that way. And he's also a guy that comes out of a Maryland program. There's some familiarity. You mentioned Matt Canada was once his head coach. Canada was that because of a tragedy that Maryland suffered in the spring of 2018. One of McFarland's teammates died from heat exhaustion during an off-season workout. There was an investigation. The university was deemed culpable. It was a really sad, tragic, and awful situation. And Anthony McFarland talked a little bit about that today on our media conference call, and talked about how he really understands adversity and the importance of working through things and no matter what, keep going forward. It's something that no one would ever want to experience, but he's got to be a pretty tough-minded kid to have gone through that. And I'm curious to see what might happen if he's in a better situation, because, again, that Maryland program was in disarray for a lot of reasons, and he had some injury problems. But, hey, he comes to the Steelers with 239 career carries, so he's fresh. It's not like the wheels have been run off already. It's an interesting pick, Missi.
Yeah, and speaking of more adversity that he went through last year, he said he was dealing with that high ankle sprain, happened during week 2 of the season, so really didn't play a lot. But everybody goes back, I think, when you Google him or look at the highlights, that Ohio State game from the previous season, that maybe kind of put him on the map.
Yeah, and I just off the top of my head, I'm guessing that all those guys he ran against on that Ohio State defense are either in the NFL already, have been drafted the last couple of days, or are about to be today. So that one of the reasons he was able to put up that number against the Buckeyes, he had an 85-yard run and a 71-yard run in that game, and that was another point that Eddie Faulkner mentioned. Home run hitter. You don't necessarily have that in Benny Snell and James Conner and Jalen Samuels, but if this guy finds it right, if he hits the crease right, he can go a long, long way very quickly.
All right, moving on to the Steelers' second pick in the 4th round. 4B, we'll call it the 135th pick, going with an offensive lineman, a guard specifically, Kevin Dotson out of Louisiana. You immediately have to think of Ike Taylor, right?
I guess. No. What I immediately thought of was, why did I forget about this guy? He was a first-team All-American. He played Robert Hunt, his tackle, was drafted in the 2nd round by the Miami Dolphins. Just 52 career games played. This guy's got some bona fides. He was not invited to the Combine.
I feel like one of those snubs, that's pretty much what you read everywhere. I know you like Dane Bluger, and he even said he was the first non-Combine guy drafted this year.
Yeah, how did he not get there? It's not, I'm assuming, because he lacked size. It's not, I'm assuming that it was because he lacked tape. where he was blasting people into the next level and beyond. Sean Surratt, the Steelers O-line coach, really excited about him and talked about him as a realistic guy to compete for the open guard position, which I wasn't necessarily coming into this draft thinking that's what they were looking for. But, hey, the more the merrier. Let the best man win. He's also a really fun guy, just having talked to him for 5 or 10 minutes. Trash talks the opponents by telling them the play and then beating them anyway. So that really demoralizes them when they know what's coming and they still can't stop it. And he's also got experience as a bouncer. So why
what
not?
more
Right?
could you want in an offensive lineman? Mean mugging, just that stature. He also said he grew up in a Steelers family. Said he was a big Jerome Bettis fan, and all of his passwords growing up always had 36 at the end of them. So, you got that Steelers thing going for you too.
Yeah, maybe not. You can maybe replace Ramon and BJ Finney. Remember BJ when he got the call and he had been a Steeler fan and was so happy. I thought he cried, Missi. He always said that he never did, but that's a little cherry on top of the sundae. But just the power that Kevin Dotson brings to his game, and Sean Surratt was going on and on about that, and also some familiarity. Sean Surratt told us that Carl Dunbar's son attended the same school and works in the weight room now. And Surratt said he was trying to find somebody to say something negative about Kevin Dotson and couldn't. Everybody just swears by him. After talking to him for 5 or 10 minutes, I'm buying that. What an intriguing guy. And he's got the physical skill set, the size and the arm length and the power game. Another thing Sean Surratt kept defaulting back to was old school, run through you kind of guy. That sounds like a Steeler, doesn't it, Missi?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so 2 needs I think we both agree the Steelers addressing in the 4th round with their 2 picks. They have 2 more left today, so we will see what they do next.
We will, and then we'll do this again when it's all wrapped up and put a bow on it.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Mike, as always, for your time.
Thanks, Missi.